I offer you this most special class because it features two of my best friends, Mark Williams and Ray Wynn. But where it starts is the Hyatt Regency. If you're from Kansas City, you know about this. If you're not from Kansas City, you may have heard of it, where all these people are at the Hyatt Regency and they are dancing in the lobby and there's skywalks above and they collapse and kill all these people, 114 to be exact. Well, that's what this story is about, and this is where it starts. And it's about friendship, tragedy, teasing, and humor. This 5-class series is absolutely magnificent and is going to bring you into something very unique. Political correctness out the window, friendship at its highest, humor, you bet, and how you can do humor, and how you can laugh through tragedy. That's what the class is about. Welcome. But we have to start at the beginning of the story of the Hyatt Regency. Here it is.
That hotel behind me used to be a Hyatt Regency. July 17th, 1981, that Hyatt Regency had a tea dance. And hundreds of people, matter of fact, that one night, July 17th, 2,000 people that showed up here for this tea dance, to ballroom dance, to a big band music, to drink and have fun. Mark Williams was one of those people.
I was standing underneath them in line to get a drink, so I knew they were above my head. And I heard them pop. It tore both of my legs out of the sockets, and my left leg was back here behind my right ear. My right leg was was back here behind this ear, because I remember laying face down, rubbing my ankles, trying to get the feeling back in my legs because they went numb. And that's one of the things people always say, well, how did you handle all the pain? Well, let me tell you, adrenaline is a magical drug. I mean, you either go into shock or the adrenaline kicks in. I didn't feel any pain.
Really?
No. It broke my nose, it broke my back, it jerked both my hips out of the socket.
And what are you hearing in there?
Total silence, not a thing. Because I was told there were 26 or 27 people in line with me to get a drink, and it killed all of them but me.
Wow.
So I could hear nothing. Plus the insulating factors of those skywalks on me, I couldn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anybody groaning, screaming, nothing?
Not until later in the evening, when there was a little girl, and I heard her saying her prayers. And I was a Catholic, so I recognized the prayers, and I started talking to her. And we started saying some prayers together, and she asked me, she said, well, my daddy was in here with me. I'm afraid my daddy's dead. And I lied to her and I said, no, I saw your daddy before it fell. He's outside the skywalks. He's okay. Wow. I didn't know that.
Sure.
Later found out she was cut almost completely in half at the time, and she passed away later that evening.
But here you are underneath there. What did you do to endure the time, or to be tough, or to be patient? What's going on with you?
I never thought I was going to die.
Never?
No, that never entered my mind. And it never did through the whole course of this, no matter how they told me for 2 months I wasn't going to live. That just wasn't in my DNA to think that way.
Gotcha.
The sprinkler system broke, and the water started rising on the floor, and I'm trapped face down with my nose against the floor, and the water's coming up, and I can't get my head up because it's pushed down, and I'm starting to breathe in water, and I'm thinking to myself, isn't this great? I'm on top of a hill in Kansas City, Missouri, and I'm going to drown. But then later in the evening, and I don't know how much later, but I'm guessing 8 hours or so, 9 hours later, I hear somebody pounding on something up there. And I start yelling, hey, I'm underneath here. And I hear some guy say, I think I heard somebody under there. I think there's somebody alive under there. They pound again, and I'm yelling, yeah, I'm underneath here. There is somebody alive under here. So then it's quiet for a while. The next thing I hear is a jackhammer up above me, and it's down through it. And the jackhammer comes through and comes underneath my arm and against my chest, and they pull it back out. Well, now I'm yelling, hey, comes down again. This time it comes between my legs. Now I'm using every four-letter word that I've ever used, and I'm making ones up.
It's not just hey.
No, I'm using the big word in front of all kinds of words that makes no sense. Down it comes again, and this time it comes somewhere over here next to me. Now I think they've triangulated my body. The next one's coming right through the middle of my back.
Did you prepare for that?
I did, yeah. But it didn't. They stopped, and I'm yelling. And then at that point, sometime later, they hooked some cables or something in there and got it up off of me.
Has it ever woken you up in the middle of the night? You ever
Not
had a
once.
nightmare?
Never.
Nothing? Never.
Not one time.
Never. Because you're trapped under 60 tons.
Supposedly 60 tons.
60
of
tons of
concrete.
rubble.
Yeah. But for some reason, no.
You ever seen that?
No.
That's you.
Wow.
That's you being pulled out. And
That's me.
and that's the
And there,
firefighter.
yeah, and there's that place
That
laid
guy
open in the back
that
of my
pulled you
head.
out. The guy that pulled you out. Captain Ray Wynn. Captain Ray Wynn, he retired 32 years ago. And this is him right here.
Oh man.
What's up, man?
Not much,
I like
buddy.
your shirt.
Thank you.
Why don't you have a
Thank
seat
you for
over
more
here?
things than one.
And by the way, I do want to apologize that it took us so damn long to get to all that. I heard that comment when I walked in. I'm like, man, we worked our asses off.
This is cathartic because I've been pissed off at you for 30 years.
Yes, this was the first time they met since Ray was part of the team that pulled Mark out. The first time they met. That's what was so cool about this. They actually met right there on camera. The next thing that's about to happen, you have to know about Timexes and anyway, you'll see. Here we go. Enjoy this. And yes, this really happened. And is it true what you said when you pointed to your watch? You did. It's true. You said it.
Yeah, I was laying out there on the gurney, and I looked at my watch and I said, well, my Timex took a licking and kept on ticking.
You really said
And
that.
somebody kind of looks at me.
Anytime. Bill is going to retrieve that arrow with the Timex still fixed to the arrowhead. You know, only Timex, with its exclusive V-conic movement, can take such a licking and keep on ticking.
You know, after 10 hours of doing what we did and what we endured, and you know, it's the closest thing to war, I think, that my generation or someone my age, I kind of fell between Vietnam and what's going on now. I never really had to, that was the carnage, you know. And for someone to sit up and make a comment like that in the middle of that.
And the watch, he said that.
Yeah, takes a licking and keeps on ticking. I mean, I started giggling. It was a huge shot in the arm for me. I'll never forget that.
I don't know whether it was later that night or the next morning, and I was laying in a room on a table, and I heard my mother ask the doctor, is he going to live? And the doctor said, I don't think so. I sat up on the table, looked at the doctor, and I said, like hell, I'm not going to live. I'm going to open up duck hunting season on October 17th, and then I laid back down and went to sleep, and I don't know when I woke up after that, days later.
Did you go duck hunting in October? And you will find that out. You will find out if Mark Williams went duck hunting in the next series. Actually, I always say the series. It's the class. See it the next class, and you're going to find out, because the story will continue about friendships, teasing, and how the heck you can laugh through tragedy. And if that fly comes around one more time while we're shooting, you won't see the fly in the next class, because he'd be gone. See, he's just going by there. You know, if I had some chopsticks, I'd Mr. Miyagi him, but I don't. See it the next class, and we'll find out if Mark Williams really did go duck hunting.